Ever since Trump got elected, Nancy Pelosi has been trying to stop him from pardoning January 6 rioters.
I don't, it's really a strange a person who's going to be president of the United States who thinks that it's okay to pardon people who are engaged in an attack.
Now, on the surface, it might look like she's trying to defend the liberal stance on this issue, but if you listen to this guy, you'll realize it might be a very personal issue for her.
Okay, quick message number 2. This one's important. So when I was locked up in D.C., again, Jan 6 are here. When I was locked up pre-trial, they basically denied us any access to evidence. For some reason, when they finally did give us access to evidence, I got access to evidence.com that nobody else was, except for us that were in D.C. at the time back in 2021, 22. When we got access to that, I was getting more information than most anybody else on the outside. Lawyers didn't see what we saw. When I came out, I managed to get myself bond, where almost nobody else did once they were held pretrial in D.C. When I did, I had evidence, and I have it in my possession right now. Just got it out of my storage unit. It shows that President Trump is right. Nancy Pelosi is directly responsible for what happened on January 6th. It is a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact.
Well, the guy is saying things we already knew, and Donald Trump has even made it clear during the first few days.
Gained a whole new respect for me, but it was just make-believe stuff, and there were a lot of make-believe stories made up. So rather than suffer the wrath, like the story with Nancy Pelosi, I offered her 10,000 soldiers. She knows it. She admitted it on tape that her daughter made. She's a videographer or whatever you call her, which I'm glad she is. Oh, she can't be in good stead with Nancy. But Nancy said it was my responsibility as she's leaving the Capitol. She said it was, and it was. She's in charge of security at the Capitol. But I offered them up to 10,000 soldiers, even more. One time I said more, as many as you need, but you needed 400 or 500. If 4 or 5, you 10,000, that would be more than the number of people there by lot. But we offered her 10,000. Think of it, 10,000 soldiers. In other words, J6 wouldn't be J6. There would have been no J6. But she rebuffed them. She didn't like it. No, she didn't like it. Maybe she wanted that to happen, but she's guilty as hell. And now we would have to go through the process because they destroyed all evidence. They deleted everything.
However, if he's telling the truth, he really might have some inside knowledge that can prove all those theories about Nancy. And to his credit, Brian here is also not just trying to share this information on social media. He says he would love to present all that evidence to Congress in a hearing.
Everything that you have seen is a lie. That is fact. That is going to be proven. We need to show up in front of Congress, me and every other single Jan 6er who has been through this, to testify and show what we have. The evidence that I have seen is a vast conspiracy. This, again, is not conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact. We can prove that Nancy Pelosi worked with the Pentagon, Milley, we've got Schumer. We have various members of Congress and Senate, some of which are still there. We have the FBI.
And just to be certain that he suddenly doesn't get silenced, he makes sure to remind us that he's not looking to unalive himself anytime soon.
People to know that I'm not suicidal and I just got out of the doctors. I'm in great health. So if something happens to me, it was not natural. Okay, there is stuff that I know that I can present to Congress, to investigators, to prove everything that I'm saying.
Now, only time will tell if Mike Johnson and the rest of the Republican congressmen have any will to bring Nancy Pelosi to justice. However, you don't need to look that deeply to see that there are a lot of shady things in her past, including her insane trading history.
Should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock, on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be.
Why should they be?
Because this is a free market and people we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
And while we are speaking of shady things, I want to show you a New York Times headline that I thought was a joke when I first read it. It states how labeling cartels terrorists could hurt the U.S. economy. So basically, the most popular liberal newspaper is telling us that we shouldn't be going after those cartels because that might put an end to the earnings of some drug dealers. Is this a joke? Now, X, of course, blew up as soon as this article was published. And responding to one such post criticizing this article, Elon Musk tweeted, "New York Times is propaganda." Now, I was curious as to why the New York Times suddenly decided to write in favor of these criminal organizations when they were the ones who keep telling us how bad these cartels are. Well, let me tell you why. It all begins with a man named Carlos Slim. I'm sure you've heard of the Mexican billionaire who became the biggest investor in this newspaper during Obama's second term. And even after selling some shares in 2017, he still holds quite a lot of influence in the publication. Now, this wouldn't matter so much if Carlos was just another rich guy. However, this isn't the full story. The billionaire's son, Marco Antonio, is a board member of BlackRock. And we all know BlackRock has shares in a lot of U.S. organizations that directly benefit from the drug epidemic that has engulfed our country in the last few decades. I mean, the biggest rehabilitation company in the U.S. is Encompass Health. And here are the biggest shareholders of that company. So you tell me, would it help BlackRock if the drug trade suddenly stopped overnight? And how can we forget that cartels pretty much control illegal immigration from Mexico? They monetarily benefit from it, and in turn, BlackRock gets hundreds of thousands of children working for their companies without any security. Hopefully, that's all going to change now that President Donald Trump is in office and he's got people like Elon Musk around him who have been speaking against the horrible practice of child trafficking. Now, here I would like to remind you about yet another fire in LA since the mainstream media seemingly has been hush-hush on it. I'm, of course, referring to the Hughes fire, which has already burned more than 10,000 acres in just one day.
So up here, the site of the Hughes fire, about 10,000 acres burned over the last 24 hours. This was a fire that was initiated on federal forest lands, the Angeles National Forest. I'll remind folks, 57% of all of our forest land in the state of California.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's where I go to get my snow and the chickens. Oh, and I hope Chelada. Oh no, the seafood restaurant. Oh, enchilada. And Wiley's. Ah!
Oh, dude, this is close to Big Rock.
Oh! This is. Oh, dude.
That's horrible.
Oh.
Wait, dude, this is super close to Big Rock. Fucking right here.
And Wiley's. Chelada. Oh, please. Ah.
That's heartbreaking.
Hey, Joe, go ahead.
And it's not just the flames that are causing problems for the people of Santa Clarita.
Really quick update for you all while I wait for my last class of the day. Yeah, the smoke and ash from the Hughes fire over in Santa Clara is starting to blow here because this is the direction that the wind is blowing in, and the wind gusts are about 40 miles per hour. We cannot go outside without a mask right now. I have an air purifier and my fan running. The sky went from sunny and bright to smoky and orange and gray within a matter of 30 minutes. It's getting really bad. It's getting really scary. Please, 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 please send thoughts and prayers to the people of Santa Clara because that fire got really big really quickly. I will keep you all updated as I am able to because the evacuation zones are once again kind of getting close to where I live and work.
And while the fire keeps burning through California towns, Governor Gavin Newsom still keeps claiming he's the savior of the devastated state.
Likely saved large parts of Los Angeles. Those were all new investments. The pre-positioning that we did before the fires, the 120 engines, the 105 specialty teams, the dozers, the water tankers, were because of investments that 5 years ago we didn't have. We were unable to do that pre-positioning at the scale we're doing it because we made investments. We've doubled the budget at CAL FIRE. We're adding 2,000 more additional firefighters.
I used to laugh when he made insane claims like this before, but now I just feel angry since it's causing so much harm and destroying so many lives while he keeps singing his own praises. Like, seriously, what the hell? Now, unfortunately, forecasters have warned that powerful winds were expected to pose further challenges for firefighters, who have so far brought 14% of the fire's perimeter under control. More than 31,000 people were evacuated just on Wednesday, and as I've mentioned, the fire has only grown since then. Now, finally, I would like to talk about Project Stargate once again, since it has consumed the online space ever since its announcement. One reporter even asked the president if Elon's claims about no money for the project were true or not, and this is how he responded.
Related to your AI, EO, just hours after you made that big Stargate announcement, Elon Musk tweeted that they don't actually have the money. Is that true?
I don't know if they do, but, they're putting up the money. The government's not putting up anything. They're putting up money. They're very rich people, so I hope they do. And, Elon doesn't like one of those people, so you're allowed to.
Are you worried that AI is going to replace many American jobs?
No,
Does that worry you?
No. It's going to create tremendous numbers of jobs. It's going to also create a lot of benefits medically for cancer research and other things. It's going to have a huge positive impact. And, we want to be ahead of China. We're right now way ahead of China. David Sachs is one of the all-time experts. That people are amazed that you just met him. I don't know if he's still here. There he is. But one of the most respected people in that world.
I really think the president is trying to turn the U.S. into a tech pioneer, but things just keep coming up that don't give me much hope for this project. For instance, Sam Altman, whose company is spearheading this project, is facing a sexual harassment lawsuit from his own sister. Now, of course, this doesn't mean he's guilty, but you tell me what kind of impression you get when you hear news like that. So I just hope President Trump keeps a very close eye on snakes like Larry Ellison and Sam Altman to make sure they don't turn into Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci. Now, I would love to know what you guys think about this Nancy Pelosi story. Also, if you've been forced to move due to the Hughes fire, please feel free to share your story with everyone. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one.